So what does it mean to empower? What does that word mean? Empower your relationship. I looked it up in the dictionary, and empower means to enable, to give back the power to yourself. So that'll be the focus. There's so many different aspects I can talk about. I'm also going to focus a little bit on that and for us to bring the power back to ourselves. So instead of giving that power out to others, to bring it back to myself. Now, it's a bit tricky because in our life we have lots of different types of relationships. And when we talk about the word relationship, does it mean like a sexual relationship? Does it mean an intimate relationship? Can you have an intimate relationship without a sexual relationship? Is it the relationship with your boss, siblings, mum and dad, your cat or your dog? I have a relationship with Windows, XP up to 8. Always reinstalling it, it's a love-hate. So with different sorts of relationships, but surprisingly, how we are inside will get played out in all those relationships in a very similar way. We all have certain patterns of the way that we relate to people, and as I'm talking to you, I encourage you just to identify where you get stuck, where you perhaps give your power away in relationship. And how we know we're giving our power away is through a couple of ways. One is when we apologise. It's not our fault. And if someone bumps into you, go, sorry. When we're not feeling valued, where our needs and our wants aren't being met. And the symptom of not being empowered usually is frustration. And frustration is a very close brother. What does frustration turn into? Anger and resentment. We get a bit angry, and so that anger can come up pretty quickly when someone doesn't do what we want, what we'd like, we don't get what we want. And I use examples like it might be at the supermarket, and someone pushes in front of you in the queue or something happens. Anger can come up very quickly. So in that moment, we don't even know why we're being angry sometimes. And a lot of our processes are subconscious. And I'll talk to you about that a little bit, how we can work with those subconscious processes. Because I might think, I'm being so serene today. Everything's lovely. And then some little thing will happen and I'll get really angry. My neighbour will do something, or something little might happen and anger will come up. So that's the symptom of disempowerment, is when I'm starting to feel frustrated. And then that'll turn into resentment unless I start to work with the frustration. Over apologising, inner dialogue, was it me? Always questioning myself. Am I a victim? What's going on here? They're very much things that come in when we do two things. When we start to blame ourselves or shame ourselves. And part of that is doing some work around your beliefs. What you believe about yourself. Only you know what your inner beliefs are around relationships. In a moment we're going to do a little process with the inner child. It's a great way to work with ourselves. So I'd like you to take a moment to close your eyes. Just make yourself comfortable, just for 5 minutes. And I'd like you to imagine seeing yourself in your family of origin growing up. And what was the dynamic going on there in the relationship? What you learned about relationship. What's the main dynamic going on there? Who was dominant? Not dominant, who was subservient, or